being finally elected President of the United States. That seems great, right? But there's just one catch. Half the nation has seceded because of your views on slavery and other things. This is the culmination of several turbulent years in the United States where states are threatening to secede, and your election was the last straw. Now the nation seems bent on civil war, something the Founding Fathers never wanted to happen to this nation. You seem like a disappointment to your country. It seems impossible for you to be remembered as a great president when this is all over. This all happened to Abraham Lincoln when he was elected president in 1860. In 1860. States were threatening to secede just because of what he believed and his political views. In 1860, the nation was at its most fragile state. In November, Abraham Lincoln, who had declared government cannot endure permanently half-slave, half-free, is elected president. He won 180 out of 300 possible electoral college votes, but only 40% of the popular vote. In December 20th, 1860, South Carolina secedes from the Union, followed 2 months by Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, and Texas. In 1861, Confederates under General Pierre Beauregard opened fire with 50 cannons upon Fort Sumter in Charleston, South Carolina. The Civil War begins. The Union Army under General Irvin McDowell suffers a defeat at Bull Run, 25 miles southeast of Washington. Confederate General Thomas J. Jackson earns the nickname Stonewall as his brigade resists Union attacks. Union troops fall back to Washington, and this is when Lincoln realizes that this war will be long. Lincoln faced a nearly impossible task. Free every slave and defeat the Confederates to repair a shattered Union. He needed to repair the Union after the bloodiest war in American history. This would not be an easy task for Lincoln, and the odds seem laid against him. In 1865, after 4 years of the bloodiest war in American history, General Grant surrendered at Appomattox Courthouse in Virginia to the Union Army. After 4 years, the war was finally over, but there was many trials laid against Lincoln. This was also the year that the U.S. Congress approved the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution to abolish slavery. It was then turned over to the states for ratification. Lincoln was an inspiring leader. He got the U.S. through its toughest time in its history. Literally a civil war in between the states that involved brothers fighting brothers. This is not a time that we want to remember the U.S. as a high point in its history, but there was one high point, and that was Lincoln. Lincoln inspires us today because of how he handled things, and he was the face of the Union during a terrible time in American history. Those closest to him had good things to say about him. He was calm, collected, and a great leader, but he never thought of himself above others. He was inspiring through his speeches, such as the Gettysburg Address, which is known worldwide for what it says about America. He also has many other speeches which are also revered worldwide. He led the U.S., and he inspired his troops to defeat the Confederates, and he inspired others to fight for the Union and fight for unification in America. The Gettysburg Address, being the most famous of his oration, has the quote, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Lincoln radiated confidence, and he radiated inspiration to those around him. And what he believed, he made others believe. And he inspired other people to fight for what they believe in and to save the United States. Thank you.